My name is Liz Darius, and I'm the training director for the Praxis project, and we are a national intermediary, and we're based in Washington, D.C. CCHE is Communities Creating Healthy Environments. It's a national initiative that's funded by the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, and the Praxis Project serves as the National Program Office for CCHE. And it's a really exciting initiative where we've been fortunate enough to bring 22 organizations from across the country and 10 technical assistance providing organizations into the initiative so that we can support local, regional, and national policies.
My name is Helena Wong, and I'm from CAV, Organizing Asian Communities in New York City. CAV was founded 26 years ago as an organization that was responding to instances of hate crimes. I think being a CCHE grantee has been really great for us because what being a CCHE grantee means is that you're part of a network and a community of people who are really thinking about social change from a perspective of building power. We've been able to come together, we've been able to share, and I think we've learned a lot.
So my name is Kajua, and I'm from Madison, Wisconsin.
And my name is M. Adams. I'm also in Madison, Wisconsin with Freedom Inc.
The base for our work is about ending violence against women and children.
We think about violence very broadly, like Kajua was saying, from like sexual assault, domestic violence, to like poverty as a form of systemic and institutional violence, racism, sexism, heterosexism, so on and so forth.
Having CCHE really think things through, having like evaluator, having like the teams that they have really helped us to like focus on us.
I think the support, like the financial support, was definitely helpful because it gave us a way to continue to do the work that we always wanted to do with resources.
Mm-hmm. Without CCHE, I think that we wouldn't have been able to really center like what it means to be healthy in the U.S. And that through this grant, like our elders have really, and our young people have come together to like really think about what's important to us. And like Em said, it was about food. It was about land for food.
I've called people at Praxis and I've had conversations with folks, and folks have been very supportive and just been giving guidance and have been elders in the work, if you will. It's been very, very helpful.
My name is Beatriz Herrera. I'm the organizing director at POWER, People Organized to Win Employment Rights in San Francisco. POWER has been around for 15 years, and we've been organizing African American and Latino families, fighting gentrification, waging campaigns for domestic worker rights, women who clean homes, take care of children or the elderly. And in the last couple of years, we've been focusing on improving the public transit system and fighting for transit justice in San Francisco. And right now, we're waging a campaign to try to make the buses free for youth in San Francisco. Being a CCHE grantee has been integral to our work. There just hasn't been a lot of support in terms of resources to support organizations that are waging campaigns around transit justice. A lot of fare enforcement and police officers were getting on buses demanding people show their transfers, show that they paid $2 to ride the bus, and if they didn't, they were being pulled off buses, they were being mistreated and given tickets for $75 to $100. We had people in the community who were being deported as a result of this process. So when that started happening, our organization really came together, and both the Latino members and the African American members came together and said, you know what, we need to fight.
My name is Kamal Franklin. I am located in Jackson, Mississippi, and I'm part of the Malcolm X grassroots movement. Our mission statement basically is to fight for self-determination and human rights for Black folks located in the United States. We're doing a lot of work around building what we would call people's power and deepening democracy. We built something called the People's Assembly, which is allowing community folks to come in and to do organizing, direct policy, and actually to put forth candidates for elected office. We have started building gardens, and actually we have a garden/farm. We have like 5 acres of land, and we're building, doing different food justice work on. So not only planting, but also doing a tilapia farm at some point, getting people in the local community to come and help out and support those efforts, making sure that they get food that they help out with, and also taking those folks as a base and having them help push policy reforms in the city council around healthy environments in Jackson. I think that CCHE helping or aiding MXGM through the grant process has been phenomenal for the work that we've been trying to do out there. Having somebody there full-time who's working can actually help build committees, do political education, help direct and lead a campaign. That kind of stuff we were able to do on a much smaller level before we got the CCHE grant. This now allows us to have much more power and to put a lot more people's power and emphasis into doing some of the policy work that we've never been able to do before.
Power U was founded 10 years ago. We organize around tenants' rights issues, anti-gentrification. We have a youth program focusing on ending the school-to-prison pipeline, and I am the organizer for the Powerful Women and Families program, where we organize around reproductive justice issues that women of color are facing in Miami. CCHE has been amazing. They provided some great technical assistance that's really moved our program forward. For instance, they've given us a lot of communications TA to help us design our social media strategy so we can figure out ways to reframe our messaging around breastfeeding in ways that are impactful. We were able to win some great gains, including the development of a community resource program through Healthy Start that's going to bring services back into our community, whereas before, if we were not given those tools, it would have been a lot harder for us to win that victory.
Things have changed through social media, and we're very behind. We feel like that we have just really stepped up a notch through the assistance of CCHE. We can talk to other grantees across the nation, where we would have never been able to do that before. So we're really proud of the work that CCHE has done through communications and social media to assist us in our endeavors. We were able to, in September of 2010, create a organization within our tribe, passed by tribal law, that created the Muskogee Food and Fitness Policy Council. The Food and Fitness Policy Council is comprised of tribal departments who are directors and managers that deal directly with the health programs like diabetes and WIC program, child care, Head Start, commodities program. We have a community gardener. We have pastors that are on our policy council. So they're all of the stakeholders that make the decisions on how we can expand or create our food sovereignty and food sustainability and food security for all the people within the Creek Nation boundaries.
Our role with CCHE has been as a TA provider. This experience has been different and unique in the sense that it has not been us just coming in and kind of parachuting in different sites nationally and kind of just sharing what we know, sharing our tools and our best practices, but it's really and truly been an experience of a learning community. And we have been able to work with Safe Streets here in New Orleans to not only go in and do, share the tool, the power analysis tool, but again have sessions, deeper sessions about how they could use the power analysis to really develop concrete strategies. They were able to identify that the bottom line was that there wasn't real and true community input in the process of distributing the NORD funds. So that's the recreational department funds, right, for New Orleans. And so there was money available, but the funds were being earmarked for very specific communities who had influence, but not necessarily the most need. They were able to come up with the idea that they needed to develop a community advisory board, and that this community advisory board needed to have true power. And so they were able to define that. What did true power mean? Was it only to be able to attend meetings, or was it able to have true voting power? And so it's been a struggle. It hasn't been easy, but that is huge. And it's the beginning, right? We need to figure out what that's going to look like and hold decision makers accountable to really respecting the power of the community advisory committee. But there's already conversation of how they need to be part of the decision making process in terms of allocating funds.